Hey everyone, it is Monday, so it's the start of a new week and a start of my Monday, Wednesday, Friday Facebook Live. I didn't come on last Friday. Gosh, I had a busy week. We had our grandson here, he's 7 years old, this one. So Friday was a catch-up day and just time got away from me. So, hey Clara, how are you? So I didn't get on. And Stacy, I'm sorry, I get distracted kind of by the names. They pop up on the left side of my screen. So, hey Stacy, how are you? Good to see you on here too. And then I had a class reunion on Saturday. And the reason I'm mentioning that, my 40-year class reunion, and you can do the math, it was very cool. There was people there. Hey, Becky and Brian. Brian, I'm talking about our class reunion, buddy. There was people there that came up to me and said, several people, hey, how's it going? I watch your videos. And I'm like, really? Like, no kidding. Like, I wouldn't have known that. Another classmate, she, oh my goodness, I'm going to probably get this wrong, lives in Arkansas, I think. Her and I aren't Facebook friends. We are now. But she came up to me out of the blue. We're in the food line. And she said, hey, I just want you to know I watch your videos. Several people. And, oh my gosh, it just blessed me. Just absolutely blessed me. And it just shows, how far-reaching that these could be. And I thank you, every single one of you who has liked and shared, and because I know that does get the reach out there farther. But it makes me so happy. Hey, Becky, thank you for saying that. Brian, you too. It just makes me so happy because those of you who have been on, like I'm passionate about this. I am passionate to get this word out there and to see people be able to be done with this. And I'm going to tell you something at this point in time too. Like, my topic today was fear is relentless. And, whether you believe it or not, okay, like, God is not the author of fear. Right? But there's an origin there. It comes from somewhere, right? And I don't mean necessarily maybe circumstances, although there could be circumstances that led up to fear and anxiety attacks, things like that. But I'm saying there's God, okay? So I know there's God, right? He is not the author of fear. He is not the author of anxiety. Is not the author of depression. God is light. God is light, right? And he wants to get us out of that kingdom of darkness. Fear, anxiety, depression, all those things, that's dark stuff. That's the kingdom of darkness, right? And there's an origin. There's God, there's an enemy. Just put it plainly. I've said it before. Call him what you want. The devil, whatever. There's an enemy of your soul, your mind, your will, and your emotions, right? Who wants you stuck. Who wants you stuck in the kingdom of darkness. Who wants you stuck in the kingdom of fear. Who doesn't want you to go any further than what you are. Who is relentless. Fear is relentless. Okay? So it's sort of like I'm talking about fear as an object. And the reason I'm saying that tonight again too is the kingdom of light with God, there's a kingdom of darkness, and it's ticked. The enemy's ticked that I'm doing this because I've had to deal with some fears, not anxiety attacks, not panic attacks, but I've had to deal with some stuff the last month. He's been hurling things at me, like conjuring up these fears of things that I never had before. And I'm kind of like going, what is the deal? And hey, Ken, nice to see you this weekend, buddy. Hey, Dave. So I'm kind of going, what's the deal? And my son, Connor, who is an amazing young man of God. He's 20 years old. He's going to go into the ministry at some point. And he's like, Mom, he's like, the enemy's angry at you. And he doesn't want you to go any further with this. And he sees what you want to do. He sees the people that are watching. He sees the lives that you're touching with this. And he's getting at you with everything he's got because he wants to disqualify you, Mom. He wants you to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. You know, this is just, it isn't working. But you know what? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. No. He may be relentless in his pursuit right now of me, saying, you know, I'm going to hit you on all different sides. And I'll tell you, it's been happening. So what? I have to take my own advice, right? Like I've got a war against that right now too. I've got a war against that darkness right now too, that's coming at me too. All right. So I'm right here with you, you know, so the things that I'm saying are the things that I'm using. Okay. And he might be relentless. The enemy might be relentless. Fear is relentless. You can talk about it as if it is a person, which it's not, right? But there's a song out right now. I have a Facebook closed group for people who have been through this program that I have, that I'm going to be telling you more about. But the people that have already done that have a closed Facebook group, and that's what I posted on there today. Fear is a liar. There's a song, if you listen to Christian music, there's a song out right now that fear is a liar. That's what it's called, right? And it is. It lies to you. It invades your heart. It invades your mind. It speaks lies to you. It speaks fear to you. It just, and it's relentless in its pursuit. Right? It hammers and it hammers and it hammers, and it wants to keep you stuck, and it wants to keep you in fear, and it wants to keep you from doing what God wants you to do, from being who God wants you to be. And it has a voice. Fear is a liar. Fear is a liar. Fear has a voice. It has a voice, right? You know that. It talks to you. It sometimes talks to you all day long. You know, and it fills you with lies, out and out lies. And unfortunately, we believe them at times, and that's what keeps the cycle going. That's what keeps it going and going and going, right? So I've had to combat against this lately too. I've had to say, no, I've not been given a spirit of fear, but one of power and love and a sound mind. And I don't receive it. I don't receive it. Okay, I was gonna. We had a very powerful service at our church on Sunday, and the one of the pastors just had just powerful things to say. You know, people were at the altar. We have a church that, like, if people need prayer, it's like, come on up, everybody, come on up right now. Like, what do you need from God? What do you? And one thing he said is, like, we've got to resist. Okay, and there's a Bible passage that talks about that, resisting the enemy, and he will flee from you, drawing near to God, right? And God will draw near to you. Okay, so what does it mean to resist? Like, okay, you think, okay, I know that, but just listen. So to withstand, okay, to combat, all right, to oppose, to fight against, to refuse to accept, okay? To defy, to set one's face against, all right? To kick against, okay? To block, to thwart, to frustrate, okay? Resist the enemy, resist that fear that's coming in. How are you going to resist it? All right? You're going to kick against it. Right? I love this. I love how it said, I just read these, to set one's face against it. Even when it's coming in, even when thoughts are coming in, like, no, I don't receive those thoughts. No, I stand against this. No, I haven't been given, been given a spirit of fear. No, fear, you're not going to rule my life any longer. No, I know it sounds weird, and you can go back and you can listen I probably have topics that say about speaking to things. Man, fear's got to hear your voice, you guys. I know it might sound so odd to some of you who are listening to this. It might sound like that's just weird. Like I'm not gonna talk to fear. You have to. You have to if you want it to go, because fear has a voice. Fear has a voice, and it talks to you all day long, and it talks to you at night when you're trying to go to sleep, right? So how do you combat it? How do you combat it? You talk back to it. You talk back to it. You frustrate it, right? You frustrate that voice inside of you that is filling you with fearful thoughts, because that's what it said. That was one of the meanings too, was to frustrate, right? To obstruct, to hinder, to block. And how do you do that? With your mouth. With your mouth. You can't combat a thought with another thought. You can replace it, but you gotta get the negative thought out. And what happens at times too, I've said this before, is the negative thought, the origin is here, but then it comes out of your mouth too. Then things come out of your mouth. You got to combat it. You got to stand against it. You got to say, I am not going to put up with this any longer. That's what you have to do. It has to hear your voice. As relentless as fear's pursuit is for you, for your mind, for your life, really, you have to be just as relentless in your pursuit to combat it. And it's the last thing you feel like doing sometimes. It's the last thing you feel like doing. You're weary. Some of you have been through this a long time. 25 years for me, for this fear, anxiety, and panic attacks from the time I was 11 to my late 30s. I get it. But you can't give up. And you can't give in. Okay? Don't wave the white flag. Don't wave it to fear. No, you be as relentless in your pursuit of it, and know that I'm having to be relentless right now too. You know, it's how life works. It really is. You know, you want to come against something, you want to come against the darkness. I want to come against the darkness. I want to say, no, I want to see people live free. I want to see them live in freedom. I want to see them, and what happens? Boom, I start getting these little attacks, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. This is a passion that I have. I'm relentless in my pursuit to get this message out there, because so many people need it. So many people need it. So just be relentless, and resist. Resist. Go back and listen to some of these other ones. Speak against fear. No, that's a lie. When you hear some of these things, man, they're not truth. You've believed them, and you've thought, oh my goodness, no, the things that truly are not true. Hey, Kate, I didn't see you were on here, and Randy too. How are you guys? The thoughts that are coming in that are not of you, that are not coming from a God that loves you and wants you to be done with this. You know that. So you combat against those. You speak against those, and you be relentless in your pursuit against fear. I'm serious. It has to hear your voice. It has to hear your voice. And you've got to speak against it. You have to resist, combat, block, set your face against it. You think of an opponent. Like right now, I'm thinking of like a sumo wrestler, right? So when the sumo wrestlers are wrestling, and an opponent comes toward like one of these sumo wrestlers, what do, man? They plant their feet, right? They plant their feet. They're big, those sumo wrestlers, right? But it's like I'm standing here, and you can come at me, but I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm planting my feet, and I'm not moving. Okay. That's how you've got to think about fear. Like, I'm planting my feet and I'm not moving. And no matter how fearful I get, no matter what comes against me in any given day, I'm saying, no, I do not give you place in my mind. I don't give you place in my soul, which is my mind, my will, and my emotions. And I will combat against you, and I will overcome this. And God does not want me to live like this. This is not my lot in life. My lot in life is freedom from fear. Those are the things that you have to begin to say, that you have to begin to talk about. Fight it. fight it. Fear's got to hear your voice. It really does. If some of you have been on here in the last week, I talked about, I really, really am. I'm going to take all these videos. I'm pretty sure this is week 30. Maybe last week was week 30. I think last week might have been. So as of the end of last week, well, since I didn't do Fridays, I don't know, there's probably 28, 29 videos right now. After the end of this week, there'll be like 32 videos that I've done total. So it's like 10 or 11 weeks worth. And they're going to be put on a YouTube channel. And they're going to have the topics of them all will be there. They're all about 15-ish minutes long. So then you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and you can watch any one of them whenever you want. And you don't have to go to my wall and, go scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and try to find one that speaks to you in between some of my other posts too. So it's going to be really simple for you guys. And I wanted to get that done this last weekend, and it just didn't happen. Too much going on. But I'm going to be working on that tonight. Hey, Linda. Hey, Sue. How are you guys doing tonight? But I'm going to be working on that within the next few days, and then my son Connor's going to get it all and put all the videos on a YouTube channel, and that's going to be awesome. That is going to be absolutely awesome to for you guys who want to listen and who want to listen again. So anyway, I'm going to close tonight, and you got to go back and listen about fear is relentless. Fear is relentless. So you have to be as relentless to overcome as fear is relentless to keep pounding at you, to keep pounding at your mind, to keep pounding at your heart, to keep pounding at you. You got to pound back. You got to pound. It's got to hear your voice. It's got to hear your voice. You got to speak to those mountains in your life. That's what the Bible tells us. And fear is a mountain. And if you keep speaking to it, man, eventually it's going to be cut down and brought to nothing. Brought to nothing. That's my passion. So anyways, you guys, like and share the video. If it's speaking to you, if it's talking to you, share it so other people can get it. People are seeing these videos. It's getting out there to people, which it is my passion. It needs to be there. It needs to be out. People need to hear this so they can break free. And I thank you for those of you who have done that. And write any comments. Ask me questions if you want to. I'm happy to answer them. So anyway, have a good night, and I will be back here on Wednesday. And I'm gonna start talking about my journey of breaking free. Not so much going through anymore. Now you're going to hear about my journey of breaking free. All right? Thanks, you guys.